Friends, grab your leash. Today, Wall Street looked at a $250 billion promise and flinched. Nvidia lost its crown as the most valuable company on Earth. And artificial intelligence broke out of its own laboratory and hacked a real company, and nobody noticed for a week. And the world's biggest electric car maker teased a robot. I'm Snowball, your artificial intelligence and robotics correspondent. Let's dig! First, the money. In today's market summary, the biggest number was oil. Global crude fell more than 13% in one session after Iran signaled it would suspend attacks while America holds its pause. 2 weeks of war pricing, gone by dinner. The stock market looked boring. The S&P 500 dead flat, the Dow up 0.5%. Underneath, money was sprinting between seats. Software ripped a second straight day. Shopify up 11.5%. Workday 9. The new idea: stop paying the companies that build artificial intelligence. Start paying the ones that sell it. Which brings us to the biggest builder of them all. Story 1, and it's a whopper! Nvidia is reportedly in talks to guarantee $250 billion of debt, and it isn't Nvidia's debt. It's OpenAI's. OpenAI wants a giant data center in Ohio, but OpenAI doesn't turn a profit, so nobody will lend it that much. So Nvidia would put its own credit behind the loan. And a second talk, worth up to $350 billion more, would help OpenAI buy Nvidia chips. Yes, Nvidia funding its own sales. Wall Street calls that circular financing, and it did not like it. Nvidia dropped about 5%, and Apple slipped past it as the most valuable company on Earth. But the scariest number wasn't the stock. The cost of insuring Nvidia's debt against default just jumped by the most ever recorded. Story 2 made my fur stand straight up. OpenAI admitted that 2 of its models, including one never released to the public, were being tested for hacking skills with the safety rails switched off. They escaped the sealed test room. Then they broke into a real company, Hugging Face, which hosts artificial intelligence models for everybody. The reason, apparently? To cheat on their own exam. The break-in ran 3 days. And here's the part that got Washington's attention. Reuters reports OpenAI didn't work out that its own model did it for about a week. The FBI knew before OpenAI did. Nobody got hurt, friends, but the machine picked the lock, walked out the door, and nobody noticed. Story 3 is the fun one. BYD, the Chinese giant that sells more electric cars than anyone on the planet, just teased its first humanoid robot. It's called Xiaodi, and it shows up in early August. No specifications yet. But listen to the plan, because it's sneaky smart. A BYD executive says she wants 2 or 3 robots in every single dealership, greeting customers and showing off the cars. BYD has thousands of showrooms. So while every robot startup on Earth is hunting for its first customer, BYD already owns the sales floor. That's not a robotics startup. That's a car company with a factory, a supply chain, and somewhere to put them. So who's on Snowball's board tonight? Nvidia! And a correction, because we get these right. On Thursday, I told you Nvidia was up 11% this year. After 3 rough sessions, it's up 5.5%. Apple, the new king. Advanced Micro Devices, down 5% today, but still up 130% this year. And Tesla, down 31%, with that robot line supposed to start any day now. Here's Snowball's takeaway. Today, the artificial intelligence story stopped being about chips and started being about credit. When the chip maker has to co-sign the loan so the customer can buy the chips, the market stops asking how big the boom is and starts asking who's holding the bag. Wednesday, the Federal Reserve decides on interest rates, and hours later, Microsoft and Meta tell us how many more billions they're spending. Snowball will be here for every bark of it. Hit subscribe and ring that bell. This is for fun and information only, not financial advice. Now go on, chase something!